Hello everybody and welcome to the UFC 203 live stream. I am Stephen Howson. Tonight I am joined by Matthew Wells of MMA Latest, and we are here to talk about everything that's going on in this main card, headlined by Stipe Miocic and Alistair Overeem in the heavyweight title fight. Matthew, how are you doing, mate? And obviously the other big thing that we've got to talk about on this card is CM Punk's debut in the UFC. So talk to me about that one.
Man, first off, I'm doing great. I'm glad to be watching these fights, man. Glad to join you on this live watch along here tonight. But everybody's focused on the CM Punk fight, right? That's the one everybody's looking forward to. Never mind that we have a heavyweight title match. Never mind that we have the potential number one contender in the co-main event. Everyone's focused on CM Punk, which I guess, the guy's he's a polarizing character, to say the least, and everyone's interested to see what a 0-0 fighter can do on a pay-per-view card in the UFC. So it's interesting, to say the least. It's very interesting.
I knew nothing about him. I don't watch WWE. I knew nothing about CM Punk, and when it was announced that he was coming at UFC, I think it was UFC 181, I had to start doing some Googling, and I thought, oh, maybe this guy's got a little bit of a background in wrestling. Obviously, why else would he be doing pro wrestling? And he doesn't. And it turns out that he's got no background in anything, and for some reason, the guy's ultra popular in the WWE, and that they think has translated into him being worthy of a place in the UFC. And this is me not being a hater in any way, shape or form. I hope he gets his face smashed in tonight by Mickey Gall, and I hope Mickey Gall goes on to have a long career in the UFC, because to me, this is a circus fight. This is the sort of thing that we would rip on Bellator for, so we're ripping on the UFC for the exact same reason. I think it's well worthy of.
Absolutely. Listen, the guy he's done absolutely nothing in the world of real martial arts, of note in terms of competition or anything like that. Mickey Gall is a guy who's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. He's 2-0 in his pro fights. He was a 2-0 in his amateur ranks. So this is a guy that went through the legitimate paces to become a competitive mixed martial artist. And here he is in the UFC, and he's got to fight against someone that's never fought for real. I mean, obviously, Punk has been in the WWE. He's been in front of huge crowds, which, that's part of his allure, is that he's a really, really popular guy. He was so in the WWE, and that's what you already kind of touched on. But man, it's intriguing because it's a fight, and anything can happen in a fight, and the lucky punch factor is very, very apparent in this one. And of course, if he does go out there and land that lucky punch, man, the internet's going to break. Twitter is going to go down. It's going to be crazy.
There is that lucky punch factor. And we actually spoke earlier, didn't we? We was talking about how the UFC honeydicked us with James Toney. And James Toney was like, I only got to land one shot with those little gloves. And we was like, shit, he does only have to land one shot with those little gloves. And then Randy Couture takes him down with an ankle pick and strangles him. And that was how it was always going to go down with hindsight. Is this fight, with hindsight, going to be a crush by Mickey Gall?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I think it's going to end up being, man. I think it's going to end up being one of those fights that there's going to be a little bit of a brief feeling out process, and then all of a sudden Mickey Gall is going to take it to the ground and submit him as quickly as CM Punk will allow it to happen. And I think that's going to be midway through the first round. That's my official prediction.
Yeah, I don't see us getting out of the first round as well. But this is a watch along, so it is for you guys as well. So we don't just want to talk at you, we want to talk to you. So you've got the comments there on YouTube. You've got us on Twitter at the address down here below, at MMA Latest News. So send us any tweets. We'll get your tweets on screen. We'll read your comments out. We'll answer your questions as we're going along. And we'll get your guys' prediction as well. So, Nidge is here. Nidge is a follower of my personal channel. So how you doing, mate? Nice to have you.
Hey, what's up, man?
Throw your questions in the comments. We'll get to answering the questions. We'll check out Twitter as well, see who's talking to us on Twitter. As I said, we'll get them on the screen, and we'll get some predictions from you guys as well. The first fight of the night is going to be Jessica Andrade against Joanne Calderwood. And I think this is going to be an interesting scrap. Two decent level Muay Thai style fighters. I think you're looking at a stand-up fight. I don't think this one's going to go to the mat. I also don't see a finish too easily in this one as well. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, these are both two tough girls, and I mean, really, Joanne Calderwood, she's one of the most durable girls around. Outside of that one fight against Morose, where her head wasn't in that fight, she just looks like she's ready for that top tier, ready for a title shot, in the near future. But Jessica Andrade has been one of those other types of fighters that she's got really good stand up, but her results don't always go her way. She got submitted in the first round against Marion Renault. I mean, Marion Renault is another good fighter I really, really like. And then she got submitted against Raquel Pennington, who's another one of my favorite fighters in that division too. So, Andrade is a very, very tough opponent, though. To your point, yes, it'll stay on the feet. Will someone get knocked out? I don't know. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit more decisive than the fight we just saw between Jessica Ai and Besh Correia.
Yes, and on that, Nidge has asked us a question. Thoughts on the last fight, 29 to Ai. I'm going to pass it straight over to Matt because I was watching it, it was on, but I wasn't paying attention, if I'm being completely honest. I was trying to set the stream up for us to go live, so I watched it. I've got no opinion on whether it was a correct decision or not, so I'm just going to pass the book right over to Matt for this one.
Yeah, it was a very close fight, man. Very close fights. I saw it 29-28 for Ai. I had her winning the first two rounds, Betch winning the last round. But as the fight started to unfold midway through the second round, you just had a feeling like someone's getting screwed on the scorecards because nobody looked like they were going to finish the fight. It was just a lot of pocket exchanges, a lot of good head movement from both fighters, and then of course, the time expires, and here we go to the judges' scorecards, and a whole lot of boos rain out from the Cleveland crowd as Jessica Ai was not announced the winner. Which, when you're in a fight like that and you don't do anything significant, you can kind of expect that from judges, especially in MMA when we see so many judges just go awry. It really wasn't surprising to see Betch get the nod from those judges there.
From what I did see, it looked like a close fight, so I'm not going to call robbery or anything like that, and I don't think you can call robbery in more instances than just this one when there are close fights. On the screen at the moment, I think you're a couple of seconds ahead of me. We're just seeing CM Punk walking in. We saw the weigh-ins and the stare down yesterday with Mickey Gall. Giving nothing away, if anything, he's gone up in my estimation from the weigh-ins. He looks confident, he looks calm, he looks like he's ready to enter the fight, and sometimes I read too much into these weigh-ins, and sometimes you maybe don't read enough into the weigh-ins. With this guy being an experienced showman, should we read anything into the weigh-ins, or do you think this is a bit of a front from CM Punk?
The whole anything outside of the cage, you can't give CM Punk any credence to because he's a professional wrestler. The guy has been in front of large crowds. He performed acting. The guy. Listen, you can't say that he was truly out there trying to intimidate Mickey Gall. Backed up by fighting ability or anything like that. The guy is a professional wrestler. The guy's, of course, he's going to go out there and put on a show. He knows how to do that. He did it for years. And I mean, Mickey Gall was trying to be the respectful young man out there, extended his hand. But CM Punk, of course, decided to go the route of, I'm not here to shake anybody's hand. I'm not here for that. I'm here to punch somebody in the face.
I think that.
So we'll see how many times he actually punches somebody in the face in a few minutes.
In fact, should we have a bit of a sweepstake in the comments? Everybody who's watching us, thank you for joining us. What do you guys think? Let's hear it now. Put it on the line. Put it all on the line. What second is this fight going to end, and who is going to be the winner? Because I think it's not coming out of the first round. Comment from Nidge. Even if CM Punk gets KO'd, at least he's got in better shape over the last 2 years. Big payday, MMA experience, toned up, win-win.
Very good points.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
MJ the Goat says, can we at least sneak a little bit of the screen? We can't. We are a credentialed outlet with the UFC. We wouldn't do anything to jeopardise that, otherwise then we wouldn't be able to exist, would we? So no, we're not going to risk our credentials just to show a little bit of the screen, I'm afraid. CM Punk is
not worth it.
Bigger than the UFC, says Matt Baz. He probably is. He probably is, but that doesn't mean that he gets preferential treatment. He's going to get punched in the face by Mickey Gall. Hayden says, I'm an FTD subscriber. Stephen, how long have you been doing this channel? Longer than I was doing full-time Devils, mate. So have that one.